Okay, Torah concept in the New Testament, stand in liberty. So Paul, his words, stand fast therefore in liberty wherewith Christ has made us free, in Galatians 5 verse 1. Okay, this is not a New Testament innovation. Paul's drawing directly from the Torah categories of freedom, release, redemption, and refusal to return to bondage. So when you trace the vocabulary and the covenant logic, the parallels become striking. Okay, so the Torah parallels to standing in liberty, according to Galatians 5:1. 1, liberty is equal to God's act of deliverance from bondage. You know, the Torah's foundational story is freedom from slavery. Liberty is not abstract, it is covenantal. So we read this in Exodus chapter 13, chapter 20, Leviticus chapter 26, and Deuteronomy chapter 5. 2, stand fast. Okay, this is equal to refusing to return to slavery. The Torah repeatedly warns Israel not to return to Egypt, the archetype of bondage. We read this in Numbers 14, Deuteronomy 17, and chapter 28. And 3, liberty is equal to freedom to serve God, not self. So in the Torah, freedom is not autonomy, it is freedom to serve HaShem, to serve the Lord, okay? Exodus chapter 4, and chapter 7, Deuteronomy chapter 10, are examples of this, okay? 4, liberty is equal to release from debt, from bondage, from oppression. Remember the Jubilee, right? And the Torah's most explicit liberty language appears in the Jubilee laws, like we read in Leviticus chapter 25 and Deuteronomy chapter 15. 5, liberty equals freedom from the curse of disobedience. The Torah teaches that bondage comes from covenant violation. Freedom comes from covenant faithfulness. We read this in Deuteronomy chapter 28, verses 1 to 14, and compared to 28, verses 15 to 68. And 6, liberty equals freedom from false matters. The Torah warns Israel to submit not submit to foreign gods, foreign laws, or foreign masters in Exodus 23, Deuteronomy chapter 6. So the context here is how the Torah shapes Paul's understanding is stand in liberty. The Torah foundations are that God breaks the yoke of bondage. Israel must not return to Egypt. Freedom is for serving God. The Jubilee proclaims liberty. Bondage comes from disobedience, and freedom requires rejecting false masters. Okay, so the core insight here is that Paul is summarizing the Torah's entire redemptive pattern. God sets you free. Now stand in that freedom and don't go back. Okay, again, this is how Paul taught Torah in the New Testament. The Torah has not passed away.